Okay, we got Mr. Luca here. We are doing his go home video at Tractor Supply, which is fun. Some distractions he's got to work through along with his commands. So here, the first command that we are putting Luca in is his sit command. So we just raise our hand up, and as we get Luca's attention, and we ask him to sit. So from there, we're going to release him from the command. Sometimes we'll say, okay, and we'll throw a treat or tap our leg just to signal to him, hey, you are free to leave from this command. And Luca does really good on his sits. He's very attentive with them. There's definitely a lot of smells around here, so we have to be engaging with our puppy to remind him, hey, I'm still needing your attention and putting you in a command. So from here, we are going to do his down command. So we can go ahead, if he's in a sitting position, that's totally fine. Or if he's standing, we just point to the ground and ask Luca to down. He does pretty good with his downs too. He's very good. If he pops back up, we can just remind him, go back into that down. And then you can go ahead and release him by saying okay, and we'll throw a treat. Just remind him you're free from that command. And he's very attentive. He does like to sit for sure for some treats, but we'll continue to do that down command and show you, point down to the ground, and then when you're ready for him to move on, we just say okay. Now from here, we are working on our recall in Tractor Supply. So Luca being still a young pup, we're going to continue to hold on to that leash as we are working on our recall. So what Abby is doing here is she'll throw some treats, get him away from her, and then she is going to get Luca's attention by saying his name. And then once Luca looks back at her, she's going to go ahead and recall him. So I always want my puppy's attention before I say come. So here she says Luca, and then he looks back, and then we get excited. We say Luca, come, get super excited, have him come back to us. We're crouched down to use that body language to get him back to you. We want it to be super fun and positive and encouraging for when Luca comes back. And he does a really good job with his recall. Next up is his place command. So here we just pulled down a bed from Tractor Supply, and what we're doing is we're guiding him on there with the leash in our hand. We just point to it and say place, and he gets up on there and he sits. So he's still working on his place command. So he knows how to get up there and stay on there. We can get a little bit of distance, but this is where he's at with his place. So we step away, we give him a treat for allowing us to step away, making sure he knows that he still needs to hang out and stay on place. So place can be anything like a dog bed, place board, couch cushion, anything that they can get up on and identify. So here, Luca is up on this place bed, so he knows he cannot come off of it unless released. And you can release him by saying okay or by calling him away. So here we say okay, we just drop the treat and tell him he is free to come off. And we'll go ahead and bring him back on place. And now here we're pointing to it. He gets on there much better the second time around, knowing, hey, we just did this. I know what you expect of me. So we get back on that place board, and now we drop the leash, get a little distance on there. Luca pops off, so we just bring him back to place and just remind him, nope, I need you to stay on here. So this is really good for you to see, so you know the second they pop off, quickly fix them so they know, oh, I need to stay on here no matter what unless released. And then she goes ahead and releases him by saying, okay, tapping the leg, throwing a treat down, and Luca did very good with that. So our last command that we're working on here is our loose leash walking. So here we're just working on getting him into our space, almost like a heel. We're using treats. We're being super engaging with our puppy. There's a lot of smells. There's a lot of things that can distract our puppy to wander away from our little bubble space. As you can see, he's sniffing, so we're going to touch for attention and guide him back to that bubble. Now, I don't really care which side you walk your dog on. I prefer picking a side. I do like the left side, just it's comfortable for me. But whichever side you guys choose, keep him there. Do not let him dictate which way he wants to go. You tell him where you want him and keep him there. So we're keeping him engaging. We're using treats for him being in that little pocket. And then anytime he gets in front of us, we just change direction, guide him back.